Amid growing concerns and increasing tension that a full-scale war could soon erupt in the Middle East, Russia has made a revelation that has caught the attention of global leaders and observers alike. Moscow has firmly dismissed widespread rumors claiming that President Vladimir Putin was attempting to mediate or negotiate peace between the United States and Iran. The Russian foreign minister has stepped forward to provide clarity, explaining in detail Moscow's actual stance and involvement in the ongoing Washington-Tehran negotiation process. Sergey Lavrov stated clearly that Russia is not seeking, nor is it pushing, to act as a mediator between the governments of Iran and the United States at this stage.
Right now, we are not forcing ourselves as middlemen to Israel or Iran or the United States. In our contacts with them, we just discuss this situation. Iran is our partner, close partner and neighbor, and of course we care about how things develop now. Especially this situation is potentially explosive not only for Iran itself, but for the entire Middle East. There are too many mines waiting to go off, just waiting for someone to tread on them. And I think Israel and America and Iran knows that we are ready to contribute to solving the situation and to observing the agreements previously achieved.
However, Lavrov added that if any diplomatic agreement or compromise is eventually reached, Moscow would be ready and willing to assist in its proper implementation and verification. In an earlier development, US President Donald Trump mentioned that President Putin had once offered to mediate talks with Iran, but Washington had asked him instead to focus on the ongoing situation in Ukraine. It's important to note that the governments of Washington and Tehran are now preparing for direct talks that will take place in Oman on February 6th, marking a critical moment in regional diplomacy. According to a report by Al Jazeera, countries such as Qatar, Turkey, and Egypt have submitted a list of key proposals and agenda points to both Iran and the United States in preparation for the meeting. Meanwhile, sources in Tehran told Reuters that President Trump had previously outlined 3 non-negotiable conditions that must be met for any final deal to move forward. These 3 conditions were zero enrichment of uranium in Iran, limits on Tehran's ballistic missile program, and an end to Iran's support for regional proxies. These diplomatic moves are unfolding against the backdrop of a growing American military buildup across the Middle East, raising fears of renewed confrontation in the region. At the same time, reports indicate that Russia and China are preparing to join the Iranian Navy in large-scale naval drills, further heightening the already tense atmosphere amid deteriorating US-Iran relations. Officials have confirmed that Russian and Chinese warships will actively participate in joint wargames with the Iranian Navy toward the end of February, in waters seen as strategically vital. To recall, before the devastating 12-day war between Iran and Israel in 2025, the United States and Iran had already held 5 separate rounds of diplomatic negotiations focused on Iran's nuclear program. During those rounds, Iran drew a clear red line, insisting on its sovereign right to continue enriching uranium strictly for peaceful and civilian energy-related purposes. Israel, claiming it had intelligence suggesting that Iran was weaponizing its enriched uranium, launched a surprise attack on June 13, sparking the conflict. The United States officially entered the war just days later, on June 22, deploying B-2 stealth bombers to strike multiple Iranian nuclear facilities. The strikes relied heavily on advanced weaponry, including powerful bunker-buster bombs and Tomahawk missiles, to target 3 of Iran's major nuclear sites. In retaliation, Iran launched several missiles at American military bases located in Qatar, escalating the conflict before both sides agreed to an uneasy ceasefire. Following the recent announcement of the upcoming talks in Oman, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude oil prices dropped noticeably on February 5, reflecting cautious optimism in the markets. This came shortly after oil prices had risen nearly 3% on February 4, amid concerns that the proposed Oman peace talks might fail and lead to further instability.